BetUS TV is in the building.
What more can I say?
Top Billin. Yo, quick housekeeping. Patreon.com/topbillin is where you will find full unedited videos, some original content, and even a chance to chat with your boy Murph over here at Top Billin. Make sure you're at patreon.com. It starts in earnest in May, and it is almost time. Now check this out right here. I've been harping for you Seattle Seahawks fans on this specific role of a hybrid Swiss Army knife type player, focusing on Taysom Hill in this Clint Kubiak offense from last season with the New Orleans Saints. I think this has been lost on people, right? People think that I'm just playing this just as a random offense or something like that. This is a legit role that had a lot of pop to it in generating explosive plays, right? Taysom Hill here. You see him at the quarterback position. You'll see him at the fullback position, at a sniffer. You will see him at a tight end position. You'll see him lining up in the slot. He does everything, right? So I'll tell you what that dovetails into after we check out this particular concept right here, because this drawing was cold. Now check this out right here. You're going to get a pin and pull, right? So you get those down blocks. You get Cesar Ruiz here pulling from his right guard spot. He's coming, getting kind of the weak side defender here who's going to be approaching. You get the guy who's labeled as a fullback. Think about this personnel right here. 2 tight ends, a fullback, Taysom Hill, who obviously alternates between fullback, tight end, and all that, like I said before, and just one wide receiver out there. So there's no quarterback, Derek Carr. There's no running back like Alvin Kamara. None of them dudes exist, right, on this particular play. But you get him with the first thing smoking, and then you get that kind of counter action right here by Taysom Hill getting it to the outside, right? So remember, these plays, what are we doing here? Look at that bad boy. Look at the wreckage and carnage right here. Bang, down blocks, nothing but physicality right there. Get ready to play some physical football. If you're a Seattle Seahawk, right? Bang, bang. Look at that. Cesar Ruiz doing just enough to get by, right? Just enough to get by. I might have missed on Cesar Ruiz in my eval of him. But as we see right here, not on this particular play, Taysom Hill sweep to the outside. Bad angle right here by the safety. One false step on somebody like Taysom Hill who's explosive. You see right there? My man is, right, he parked it, right? He still has it in park while Taysom Hill's already 6'2", 220 pounds, 4.4 speed, physicality like you wouldn't believe. And it's believable, which is why you can have him run these submarine routes. You have him. You get one of those tri-level joints going on there, right? Multifaceted levels concept going. You see it right there. But him with the submarine route, able to check this one out. You can call this 13 personnel, 1 back, 3 tight ends, because if Taysom Hill is in the game at a tight end spot, he's going to do tight end things, right? We see him right here. Look at the blocking. Look at that. He really springs this. Damn, some really good blocking by your boy. Remember, this guy is a quarterback, right? Natural quarterback. Bang, right there, right? Hit him on a sticking point, right? The point of attack continuing to drive there, giving the running back Miller some time right there to be able to cut back really against the crease that he created. How dope is that? So remember, last week I did the video on Jalen Milroe, who is every bit Taysom Hill's clone, dovetailing into Seattle trading for Drew Lock. Now, when Seattle traded for Drew Lock, of course, you had the uninitiated, right? The goofies out there talking about, oh, well, they won't be in the mood or they won't be in the market for a QB in the draft, which could be so, right? Like I said before, we don't work for any of these teams. So speaking definitively on shit that you can't control to me is always crazy. But I'm also a grown-ass man, right? You're not a child. But now you see this, right? Just like I said in the video, right? You don't need multiple veteran backups. That's unheard of, right? It doesn't make sense. You usually have a guy who's your starter, which would be Sam Darnold. They brought in to be the starter. Obviously, they paid him like a starter. Then you trade for a guy like Drew Lock, who has experience with your team, right? That there let me know right there. I was like, why would you need him and Sam Howell? Sam Howell is not a rookie. He's not a development guy. Sam Howell is entering the last year of his contract. He's a veteran. You don't need two veteran backups. Now we see Seahawks open to trading QB Sam Howell. You even got teams like the Steelers, right, writers and stuff like that, talking about new QB option and all this there. Howell won't be long-term solution for a team. I mean, that goes without saying. If you really understand this sport, there was even one of these dumbasses was up there talking about I believe Jalen Milroe was in the building. I didn't even know that, right? So I just did that off the strength, that particular article. But they said he was in the building, and then they was like, oh, we better go get Drew Lock. Like, one of those guys, they wouldn't have anything to do with each other if you understand this sport. Sam Howell would, right? And any other guy on the team, right? Those are just camp bodies, right? You need more arms so guys don't tire out their arms for camp, and you have swelled rosters now. You cannot tell me that knowing that your offense has a Taysom Hill type position, that somebody like Jalen Milroe wouldn't be a perfect developmental QB while he gets his Cordell Stewart on and does all that shit that we saw Taysom Hill do. Hey, yo, it's crunch time, so you're going to want to be getting over to BetUS TV and have these guys fill your knowledge banks for all your picks, predictions, and analysis. I've been tapping in with these guys from everything from football as it deals with the draft to, of course, my beloved combat sports dealing with boxing and MMA. But, man, like I said before with the draft, you guys need to get in on this, baby, because they're running some of these specials. And I'm seeing some of the money lines going there, and they're talking about one Shedeur Sanders, who is an intriguing prospect to me, talking about him going beyond the top 8. Plus 75 on that man going under 8, and minus 350 on him going over 8. I can see both deals happening, no doubt about that. So you want to go over there and see what these guys are chatting about, because that's definitely something you would want to get on. BetUS TV, man. All your picks, predictions, and analysis. Let these guys and their gang of experts tap in with you and tell you exactly what's going on, all right? In part 1 of my Jalen Milroe dissection, I focus mainly on the throwing aspect of it because I know people are sheeple, and because he's that much of an athlete with suddenness, right? He's sudden with his athleticism, which is a rare trait. Check him out against the most loaded defensive front in Cuts Earth. We'll get back to that, right? Look at this, right? Get a pure breach. I don't know what the hell type of, look at that. Block down, right? You get a double right here. My man's not checking off, right? Allowing the defender, right? An unmarked car who he may miss at point blank range. Look at this. Got skinny on him, right? Get horizontal on him right there. I counter my boy, the best safety in the draft, maybe the best pound for pound player in the draft. My boy Malachi Starks right here broke him down in space. He was rumbling, bumbling, stumbling. He didn't touch earth, but he definitely got broken down in space. And you can see Milroe turn the corner here. Explosive gainer right there. Finishing with his shoulder down as well there. You know what I'm saying? The Georgia defender didn't want none of that there either. Oh, I'm catching that kid like that, right? That would have been 88 and out the gate, like 88 yards and out the gate right here. But similar deal, except you get a front side puller on this one, right? So more of a lead there. But the same deal. You get the tight end on the block down. Oh, great job by the wide receiver as well. You get Dan Jackson, the safety right here. He's got it in park. And, you're not going to catch up to this dude. I'm telling you this right now. But how do you do this? Now, I think people have it misconstrued. I'm not talking about getting Jalen Milroe with that 18th pick. Not at all. This was in regards to maybe one of these picks in the 50s, right? Now with Sam Howell possibly being trade bait, you never know what that does. I wouldn't suspect you could get, I don't know, maybe even a third rounder. Maybe he's worth a fifth rounder or a sixth rounder now. But, hey, man, that's just more ammunition for you to, I don't know, maybe be able to target him somewhere in the 50s if he's still there and get an extra. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? However they would be able to do that there, but not with that 18th pick. I still maintain that Seattle needs a line of scrimmage player, not necessarily an offensive lineman. I think a grade A tight end like Colston Loveland, if you can get Tyler Warren, that is absolutely bananas. But if he's there, somebody like that, Or even if you wanted to kind of go up for a Tyler Warren, I wouldn't be mad at that. I think he changes the scope of your offense, but because we're also talking about being able to block on the line of scrimmage, and he's going to do that with the best of them. I wholeheartedly believe that he'll be able to contribute like that. And they have so much talent on the damn line of scrimmage that, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't go in that direction as far as an interior offensive lineman, because they probably want to mold the young guys that they have there. But if they do, you know what I'm saying, there are some guys I think that could be worthy, but I'm not so sure that they're better than what you would get at pick 50 if you wanted to target them there or that position there. That's just me talking, you know what I mean? Everybody has their own think like a GM cap on, so let me know how you would do that there. But no, I'm not talking about Jalen Milroe at the 18th pick. He would be a luxury player that you could sprinkle in like they did Taysom Hill, but he would be a luxury player who could play a huge part in the offense because of his athleticism and what that offense entails with that particular position, right? So let me know what you think. All right, it's draft time. We're going to get to it, baby. Make sure you're at patreon.com/topbillin. Be there. So you can get the unedited version of these videos. I'm sure this video is going to have to be chopped up very nice. And I will be chopping it up because I'm not trying to work for free. You know what I'm saying? You guys are just going to have to do that. I'm too far into my career now to be getting content ID claims and working for free. So if you love Top Billin and you love the content that I put out, man, make sure you support quality content and make sure you're at the Patreon so you can see the full version of these videos, right? Much love to everybody out there, all my supporters, and much love to BetUS TV. Head on over there for your picks, predictions, and analysis. Salute.
What more can I say?
Top Billin.